The Colombian Exchange, a major turning point in history. In the 14 and 1500s, there was a race between many Europeans to increase their power and wealth. Many of these nations believed trade with other countries was the best way to increase fortune. However, many of the land routes that were used for trade with Asia were controlled by other countries that blocked direct trade between European and Asian nations. As a result, European leaders began to seek new sea routes to Asia. In 1492, one Italian explorer, Christopher Columbus, convinced by the idea that he could sail west from Spain and reach the rich land of Asia, made a daring voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. However, he met failure and didn't reach his goal, but his voyage completely changed the face of the world and turned out to be a turning point in history. His voyages led to an exchange of people, products, ideas, and diseases between the Old World and the New World. This exchange of products, people, microbes, and ideas is termed the Columbian Exchange. However, Columbus was Italian, but he sailed under the flag of Spain because Queen Isabella from Spain funded his voyages. Before the Columbian Exchange, the two worlds were isolated from each other. Their biological and cultural paths were separate. The New World had never seen wheat, oats, pigs, and horses, and the Old World didn't know that potatoes, tomatoes, chocolate, and turkey existed. The transatlantic voyages of Columbus brought the New World and Old World together and led to an exchange of people, products, and ideas between the two worlds. This so-called Columbian Exchange was a major turning point in human history because it created a new international economy that grew into the global world that we live in. Several products that originated in the Old World were introduced to the New World. Such products included wheat, cabbage, banana, citrus, fruit, rice, and sugarcane, horses, and pigs. The manufactured products made of iron, sailing ships, wheeled vehicles, and firearms also were brought into the New World from the Old World. The Old World also benefited from the New World as it got many important products that originally came from the New World. Among these were squash, potatoes, avocados, tomatoes, maize, peanuts, pineapples, peas, and animals such as muskrats and squirrels. These exchanges of products between the two worlds enriched human diets and made possible enormous population growth in many places. The Columbian Exchange wasn't only the exchange of products, but the ideas also traveled across the Atlantic in both directions that brought changes to the lives of Indians and Eurasians. The New World learned about new farming and manufacturing techniques. The exchange of ideas accelerated the advancement in society and opened doors for more opportunities for trade and exploration. Along with the exchange of goods and ideas, an unfortunate exchange also occurred. This was disease-causing microorganisms which killed almost 90% of Indians as they were not immune to the diseases brought by the Europeans. The diseases that crossed the Atlantic to the New World were smallpox, measles, typhus, cholera, syphilis, and the flu, which affected the Indians the most. There are many positive and negative impacts of the Columbian Exchange. The Columbian Exchange paved the way for increased interaction between the continents and led to modern globalization. Positive impacts. Many foods which are native to the Old World came to the New World, and native to the New World came to the Old World. The exchange of food products greatly changed the diet and nutrition of the Old and the New World. Potatoes and corn provided a new source of food in many areas where food supplies were scarce. The sudden availability of food and such helped the population of Europe to increase. Europeans also developed a taste for coca and tobacco, which later became major exports to the Old World. Wheat, cabbage, bananas, citrus, fruit, rice, and sugarcane enriched the diet of Indians. The Europeans also introduced domesticated animals and tools made of iron to the New World, which improved technology and agricultural efforts. Before Columbus, the New World was unknown to horses, cows, pigs, guns, or metal tools. Throughout the 1500s, gold and silver also sailed into many European countries. Many political and religious leaders became fabulously wealthy. The amassing of wealth made strong European nations developed a global trading network. Negative impacts. The unfortunate impacts of the Columbian Exchange were the exchange of diseases and birth of slavery and racist attitudes. The deadly diseases brought by Europeans killed countless Native Americans. Similarly, Europeans' lives became infected with syphilis, which destroyed thousands of lives. To maintain a society in the New World, Europeans needed physical power to work in the field, process raw materials, and build villages. The need gave birth to slavery. First, Europeans enslaved the local Indian peoples, and later they enslaved and moved millions of Africans to the New World to plant and harvest sugarcane in the Caribbean. Enslaved people were regarded and not treated as property, with little to no rights. They could not gather in large groups or go out at night. Eager to exploit and enslave the African and Indian people, Europeans developed racist attitudes. They started considering non-whites as belonging to inferior races. Brutal treatment and disease killed off most of the enslaved Indians. Europeans forced natives to adopt European cultural practices like Christianity, which destroyed native cultures and traditions. World after the Columbian Exchange. The world's population increased rapidly after the Columbian Exchange. From 1650 to 1850, the world population doubled. The exchange of plants transformed the life of all continents. They not only changed cuisine and culture, but resulted in major economic and environmental shifts. The introduction of new animals and plants from one continent to another, continues like muskrats and raccoons, were introduced to Europe almost 500 years after Columbus's voyage. The Columbian Exchange continues into the present, and it will surely continue into the future, maybe with a faster pace. Conclusion. Columbus's failed attempts to follow his dream to find a short sea route to rich countries of Asia created a turning point in history. It brought two worlds which were isolated by the Atlantic together. The exchange of products, ideas, and diseases was given the name the Columbian Exchange by Alfred W. Crosby. It had both positive and negative impacts on the society. The exchange of foods made the diet of both the New World and the Old World healthier and increased their lifespan. The introduction of domesticated animals and iron tools to the Old World led to agricultural advancement. The spread of diseases was the unfortunate exchange that cost many lives of the both worlds. The Indians were most affected by these diseases. The Columbian Exchange still exists today and impacts our lives mostly in a positive way. Thank you.